Welcome home, Raiders. Tonight, BlizzCon tickets are going to go on sale. Seriously, guys, BlizzCon tickets are going on sale this week. Get ready. Get into a raid. Get ready. Convert to Raid presents Battlenet News. Friends, and welcome to another fine show. John was laughing at me while I was talking about BlizzCon tickets, so he thinks it's funny. I think it's serious. I think it's a serious matter. Welcome to the show from the Battlenet News broadcast bunker in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today is May 8th. 2018, and it is now 9:12 in the p.m. Central Time. Thank you so much for joining us from around the Blizzard universe. And, my name is Pat Crane, the host, and the players are also here. And we'll start it off with the guy that was making fun of me from a bunch of shows. Overwatch League Daily, really. John Horstmann. Hello, John.
Pat, I wasn't making fun of you. I need you to understand that. I just think that your intros are really funny when you stumble over your words. Like, they're my favorite thing. And so when that happens, I laugh. I'm not making fun of you, just making fun of the words and how you say them.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm just making fun of the words coming out of your mouth. All right. And also, the other player for tonight from Lagging Balls, Battlenet Sports, DoubleTap.com, BBLTap.com. It's Thyst. Hello, Thyst.
Patrick Cranium. Papa Cooldown.
Papa Cooldown. That's my stage name.
This is your pimp name, actually. Yes.
Either way.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Are you ready to rock and roll?
Always. I don't know what that means.
All right. That's cool.
Is it? It's not.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's good. Well, welcome, friends, and welcome folks in Twitch chat, and welcome to you guys from home or in the car or at work or wherever you are. Thank you so much for joining us from all around the world of Warcraft and beyond. We do have a lot to talk about because we've got some stuff to catch up on because I was gone last week, so no show last week. So we've got a couple of weeks of stuff to kind of talk about. We'll talk about the most relevant stuff, really. But
can I just say that we all missed you?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah,
I
missed you.
Really? Me in particular, or
like the general you? Yeah.
The collective you.
The collective
you know what? I don't know why you have to hurt me in public.
I missed you. This
so good.
Thank you. That's what I was looking. This is just so hard. Thanks a lot. Thank you. No, it feels good.
But I was on a cross country tour and doing a whole big thing. Not really. I was just driving. But
that's kind of big.
But it was fun. It was a good time.
Did you see anything weird?
Now, there's a lot of nothing out in the Midwest. There is a lot of nothing going on. Oh. And so I was really kind of missing like my video games and my video game friends and stuff. So, thought maybe tonight we'd talk about video games.
That's a good idea.
Hey, John, why don't you talk about video games? What have you been up to lately?
Pat, oh man, I'm playing so many different games. Obviously, Overwatch is a huge focus for me. I just hit 2K in 2's arenas in World of Warcraft, so that's pretty fun.
That's awesome. Big applause for you. Hey, why not? That's great. What are you playing in 2's?
I'm playing a Shadow Priest.
Because you only play Shadow Priest? Right.
Yeah, and then I've got a buddy named Dave who has like one of every type of character. So we just switch it up to kind of whatever fits me only playing Shadow Priest because I'm too lazy to play other classes.
Right.
So
right.
That's been a ton of fun. And of course, how can you live in 2018 and not be grinding that Fortnite? Did a little Thanos grind today on their new...
that looks pretty sweet. Although, to be honest,
it's good.
Because I was going across the country, I haven't seen the movie yet. So don't spoil it for me. No spoilers.
No spoilers, but...
But spoilers.
I can't even joke about spoilers because it's such a big, like if it was just like Iron Man 4, I'd spoil the crap out of that right now.
Sure.
But it's the third Avengers movie in 10 years. It's a big deal. Go out, see it, enjoy it. You have 1 week before I spoil it.
Okay. All right. Well, now I know where we're at as friends. So anything other than twos and Overwatch, right? Those are the big things for you. Are you playing any of the? Are you playing any of the Witchwood stuff? Have you been playing
Witchwood? Witchwood.
Probably like Sandalwood or perhaps Teak.
Any
of those? No.
I have a body wash that's called Sandalwood.
Oh.
So yes.
All right.
No, not honestly. So the big reason you notice Pat didn't say anything about Well Met in my podcast portfolio is because I'm not a part of Well Met anymore because I haven't touched the game in months.
Sure.
It was expensive to keep up with. And I was really bad at it. But more than anything, it was just really expensive to keep up with. And just sometimes you just lose interest.
That's true. And like
that was actually before I met Katie. That was my last breakup line. So, oops.
Yikes.
Oopsity scoops.
All right. All right. Well, I'm just going to move on then. Thyst, I know that you were this last weekend you were watching a lot of MDI. The Mythic Dungeon Invitational, and the Overwatch League Stage 3 Finals. I know that much.
Welcome to my life.
And what else have you been doing game-wise? Because I know we're going to talk about that stuff later, so.
Oh, totally. On Saturday, it was the day before my birthday, so I decided to do a big old stream so I could hang out with everybody. And
Happy birthday!
Thanks.
Yeah.
But everybody was kind enough to come and watch me play like 5 hours of Overwatch and run some BGs, and it was a good time.
Good.
A very good time. Yes.
Good.
I had a good time. And my raid team, we're still meeting at raid time. But we're not raiding anymore because we don't need anything anymore. So
you've got all the gears.
Yeah. So we're just chilling, playing other Blizzard games, Overwatch, stuff like that. And like, I don't know. It's a very delicate time in Legion's lifespan where you are kind of expecting your friends and raid members and guild members to like disappear for a while. And I feel like if you can manage to keep your raid schedule going and, maybe not play, what you are usually going to do, like we would heroic raid, but just run older stuff or check out time walking or BGs or whatever. You can still keep people together, and that sort of like helps sort of bridge the gap, I guess, and like you can easily transcend into BFA. So it's my imparting wisdom.
I know this is this is the toughest time of a raider's career is between expansions when you're done with the current content and you're just waiting on stuff. It's so hard.
Yeah. I don't want to lose these
now is the time to change your main, guys. So if you're going to change your main, do it now. Raid spots aplenty.
Sure.
It's good.
That's true.
There is that as well. And I will say that if you're looking on, if you happen to be in the beta now, for World of Warcraft, you will see that there's all sorts of different class stuff going on. They're not done yet, obviously. You might get a kind of a chance to see how the changes are happening on beta right now, but they're still getting a lot of feedback. So I don't know. I mean, it's always kind of weird. Like, we know probably most of what they're doing. They'll probably tune it up a little bit, but we kind of know their ideas on these different specs now. And now it's just a question of fine-tuning that stuff, making sure that all of the talents make sense, and seeing what is missing.
Totally. And that's why feedback is so important.
Yep. I actually saw a bunch of questions to the devs over the last week or so. And one of them was asking specifically about rogues, I think, but the question was just kind of like, hey, listen, we are trying to make sure that not only the abilities make sense with the class spec, because we definitely want to have the specialization fantasy have it all make sense with that, have it all make sense with the class as well, and then also kind of fit with a rotation and with with kind of thought behind it as far as all that stuff. So they're not quite there yet.
No, but they shouldn't be. Yeah, it's not time yet.
It's close. We're getting close though. August 14th, right?
Oh, that's August like 14th. 3 months, isn't it?
Yeah,
August 14th.
June, July. It's actually dang.
Yeah.
It's not early access, guys. It's beta. Different.
Yeah. Right.
Blizzard doesn't really do early access.
Right.
No.
Right. It's not Fortnite. It's not Fortnite.
Except for a small fee of $10.
Right. Right.
Or PUBG, still in early access. Give us all your money. Yeah.
There is some stuff that I want to talk about before we actually get to the news, though. And that is what I brought up before, which is that BlizzCon tickets are on sale this week. So, yay for that. And it kicks off tomorrow night for us. So that is the 9th, May 9th. And then it returns on Saturday. Correct?
Yes, it does. May 9th and May 12th.
Mm-hmm. What are the times on that, Thyst? Do we have the times?
Yeah. May 9th, it's 7 p.m. PST, and May 12th, it's 10 a.m. PST. And it is $199 USD.
Right.
I mean, worth.
Yeah.
So worth.
Yeah.
Still
worth.
2 days. Come on, Blizzard, give me a third day. I need it.
They could at this point.
I need it.
They could at this point. They really could.
They could fill up that spot, but can you imagine how much more work it would be for everybody involved?
Well, it's already a lot of work.
Keep everything set up another day?
Right. Well, the nice part is that this year is different from the other years because we actually, now on top of BlizzCon tickets going on sale this week, and do make sure to team up with your buddies or whatever and all try to get tickets, and then that way if somebody doesn't get in, maybe a friend does, and then you can kind of double up and try to get more tickets that way, all that kind of stuff. There's a wrangling going on. So, but on top of that, on May 17th, if you're going to be in town the week before, you can actually buy tickets to all of the qualification games of all of the different finals for all of the different esports, essentially, right?
Yeah. I think that's pretty cool, and that kind of makes me feel better about, because I was worried that the whole BlizzCon ticket thing would just be blown out of proportion, even more than it already is every year because of all these new esport fans. And that was terrifying to me, because I would like everybody I know to be able to attend BlizzCon.
Sure.
Even though that's never something that's ever going to happen. But yeah.
It's so
this
sad.
is cool.
It's so sad.
But they're doing it through universe.com again. So if you don't have an account, make it right now. Don't do it right beforehand, because who knows? What if something bad happens? You never know. I don't know. Just do it now.
It's kind of dark.
I don't know.
What if you die? What if you die, Dwight?
Right.
I don't know. But
if I'm dead, you've been dead for years.
Wow.
Sure.
Talk about dark. All right.
But when the tickets go on sale, click buy tickets.
Mm-hmm.
You will automatically be entered into a queue.
Yeah.
The queue is a first come, first serve basis as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Do not refresh the page. Once you are in queue, refreshing the page will cause you to lose your position.
No need to hit F5, guys.
Don't do it.
Don't do
just
it.
Just Alt F4.
No, don't do that. Don't do that either.
Don't touch anything.
Don't touch a thing.
Just click buy tickets, put your hands up here, put them on your head, and just chill.
Right.
Or not, freak out. Go ahead. But
whatever.
Just cry. Pee your pants. It's fine.
It's fine. Any other, other than not pee your pants, any other advice that do you guys have for people that want to buy all the tickets? Do you guys have things that need to happen that you think people should do?
I've never bought BlizzCon tickets successfully.
Really?
So whatever I did, do the opposite, and then go start a podcast or write a blog, make it really good, have a lot of people get to it, apply for media badges, boom, you're done.
Oh, there we go. Media badges.
Yeah, because those are super reliable, and you get them like immediately, not right before the freaking thing starts.
Right. You get them right
and
before the thing starts.
Make sure that your name that you use for writing whatever you're writing matches what's on your driver's license.
That's probably a good idea.
Trust.
That's right.
Trust.
That is
it. I think a lot of community Discords are going to have, log on at this time. We'll do this all together kind of thing. Like we'll try to like the Lagging Balls Discord. This is not a plug. It's just an example. We're all going to be online during ticket time, and everybody's going to be in chat, and we're going to work out like what kind of ticket situation the people are in and who got what, and dole them out accordingly, et cetera, et cetera. So like if you're part of any, communities that you trust on Discord, that's a really handy way to sort of figure out what the ticket situation is in your community, and maybe you could score one.
There we go. Yeah. And like I said before, so on May 17th, starting at 8 a.m. Pacific, they do have all of the Blizzard Arena Los Angeles stuff. Blizzard Arena Los Angeles ticketing site is going to have all of the single day tickets for all of the different things. So it's not just HGC finals, but it's also WoW Arena. And is there also Overwatch stuff? No, they're doing behind the scenes tours as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Which is cool.
I want that.
Yeah, no, me too.
That's the only thing I want in my life. Please.
That's the only thing ever.
The only thing.
Right. But they're also doing tours, and the tours are like an hour and a half.
Oh, and best hour half of your life.
You don't get to watch any of the games. No, you don't get that. You don't get that at all. But oh well.
But yeah, and if you don't get a ticket, like consider going anyway.
Oh yeah,
because like a lot of people love going anyway, watching the virtual ticket in their hotel rooms in the comfort of their nice hotel room. Mm-hmm. And then once the convention is over, you just go to the Hilton or the Marriott and like enjoy the parties. And it's totally worth it because all of your friends are there. Everybody who is there has something in common with you, so you can make friends potentially, especially if you're not that great at making friends out in the real world where people don't talk about only Blizzard games. And it's just it's an incredible experience. And like the convention, yes, is the main event, but I don't know, like at least for me, like all the happiest memories that I have for all of the BlizzCons that I've gone through are just like everything that's happened after the conventions, honestly.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah.
Outside of a couple of panels, getting some early access on stuff and watching esports, I honestly spend most of the time at the Hilton parties, things like that. Yeah. So, honestly, even if I didn't get a BlizzCon ticket, you would definitely find me there.
Me too.
And, like Con Before the Storm, that is definitely happening again this year. They've made their goal for their Kickstarter. They're still looking for those different stretch goals. So if you want to support a great party, you can go check out Con Before the Storm on Kickstarter. Definitely a very cool time over there. So, that's their CTR party.
I hear that's a pretty good party.
That's been a pretty good party over the years. It really has. It really
Remember
has.
Last year with the fog machine and the strippers and the confetti?
No, I think that was a different party. I'm not sure.
But you were there, though. I remember that much.
I'm not sure that I was because I don't seem to remember any of that.
No, you wouldn't.
But I was pretty... No, I wasn't. I was not last year. Oh. A couple years ago. It was a little... I don't know. Anyway, so we've got those different tickets coming up on sale. And then also just something before we get into the game-specific stuff, I just kind of wanted to talk about one thing that we heard, a couple of things that we heard off of the, like every few months, Blizzard gets on the horn with their investors, talk about their stuff, and it's pretty boring.
It's not boring.
Unless you like being rich.
It's fairly boring. They talk about numbers and blah, blah, blah and stuff like that. And it's just kind of like, okay, it's a phone call. I can kind of ignore this. Although there were a couple of things that I thought were pretty cool. Wonder if you guys want to weigh in on this. First of all, World of Warcraft, they said World of Warcraft overperformed versus the prior expansion at this point in time. So,
duh.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not really,
cool.
It's not really a big surprise, is it?
But that's so great to hear, though, isn't it?
It is.
It just keeps getting better.
Well, it got better.
Worse.
It got better, and then it drifted a little bit, but now they're back. And so
It's fine.
That's good. I like that. And they said that they have, higher engagement and blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. So that's great. And then the other thing was Overwatch and Overwatch League, because they were talking about Overwatch League, and that has led to an increased engagement overall with Overwatch. Just all things Overwatch. So it's good. It seems like it's
arguably like one of the most popular. Well, it is one of the most popular video games in the world right now. And it's cool that they mentioned that Overwatch is bringing in players to World of Warcraft, like their cross promotional stuff is actually working. I mean, obviously it is, but it's just cool to know that for sure.
Well, it helps when you have, a single launcher, and then you can promote all of your different games.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Destiny 2, which actually has a new expansion coming out.
What?
So, it does. I just was reading my email earlier today.
Oh yeah, Destiny emailed you?
Destiny 2, the second expansion.
Warmind.
Yeah. Dear Destiny 2,
Warmind.
How are you?
Yeah. So, John, do you have any comments or anything on the stuff that I just was talking about with the...
Buy Blizzard Activision stock? I'm just kidding.
Sure.
Don't take investing advice from me. Earnings were great. I think the big thing is, and obviously I'm following Overwatch League very closely in this one. And, there's been rumors for a few months now that the buy-in price for Overwatch League has, in some reports, doubled, in other reports even more than doubled. And given some of the numbers that we were given here, I think that it's probably pretty likely. So Overwatch League has done a great job, even though Overwatch as a game, I believe, lost monthly active users year over year. The engagement with the Overwatch franchise.
Right. And same thing with World of Warcraft at the same point. I mean, it seemed like their numbers were about the same, roughly the same, maybe a little down, but
yeah, I mean, it's not like, I mean, especially for Overwatch, right? It's such a new, we see this with Blizzard games all the time, right? When you introduce something new, obviously there's a way increased amount that even expansions can't really match that level of curiosity. So, I mean, it makes sense. It's not necessarily a bad thing. You'd have to look at more like customer satisfaction and stuff to do that, which is not stuff that they talk about in earnings call. But the important thing is, for me, is that number one, if you follow Overwatch League at all, it's easy to see that at least 100,000 concurrent viewers just on Twitch alone, that doesn't even include MLG.TV, is way beyond expectations. They've got some of the biggest corporate sponsors in the world. That's amazing. All the other stuff, I think, is par for the course for Blizzard, I guess I would say. Like, there's nothing wild or unexpected that you probably couldn't have copy-pasted from last year into this year.
Yeah, and I was seeing for Overwatch League, for the Stage 3 finals, I was seeing numbers between 150,000 and 175, 180,000 for the majority of of the Overwatch League stage finals on that one day.
Yeah, big matches, playoffs and stuff. You definitely see 150,000 plus.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Which is great. And again, we don't know what they're seeing on MLG.TV.
Right.
And we also don't know like how many people are engaging with VODs and things like that.
Well, they said, I think the only numbers that we got were at the very beginning where they talked about how 10 million people had seen Overwatch League through either live or on VODs. And I'm guessing that it's probably gone down a little bit, but I don't know.
There's also this level of, I don't think people realize this, but I think I do a 5-day-a-week Overwatch League show. Do you know how many hours of just watching Overwatch League that is? Like that's
a lot.
35 15 hours a week, every week.
Yeah.
15.
I don't know. I don't math.
It's 30 hours a week because there's 3 matches every day, 2 hours apiece, 5 days a week. So
right.
So it's 30 hours a week just before 2 + 2 is 4, -1 is 3. Quick math. So
wow,
there's a lot of. That's a song, by the way, because no one's getting my references today. Wow. So wow. So that's a ton of time. I mean, we're seeing so much, even just on the player side of things, of players having to go home and stuff because the schedule is so rigorous. They're having to take breaks and they're not totally prepared for it, or the orgs aren't. So, like the fact that we're still trending at 100,000 plus is incredible. I wouldn't have imagined that, especially when you've got things like LCS going on in the same time slots, and they changed the time slots after season 1 to be very NA friendly. So you're saying thankfully, but anybody in EU hates your guts right now because not thankfully for anyone in EU or Korea or Australia.
Right.
But they ultimately, one reason or another said, hey, let's focus on this viewership, and they're still maintaining 100,000 plus. So that's amazing.
That's great. It's awesome. I love it. All right. Well, I think that is all of the stuff that I wanted to talk about before the news. Yeah, that was news. But now we're going to go into. Now we're going to go.
What is news, Pat?
I don't know. I have no idea what news is anymore. So we'll go into the Convert to Raid Top 10. Yes, the Convert to Raid Top 10. Oh, there we go. Got the music. That's always good. So for this week, I was like, okay, what do we do for this week? I was just coming off the road. I'm like, okay, let's read all this stuff. And I found the most surprising spoilers ever for the beta.
What?
Most surprising spoilers. And,
just going the other way, huh?
And of course they're fake. Okay, so here's the top 10 most surprising fake spoilers in BFA. Just for you. All right, number 10. New appearance for Gen Greymane. Now comes with flea collar.
That's a good preventative measure, though. Yeah. You don't want to give everybody fleas.
Right. Number 9. Teldrassil actually set ablaze after Tyrande left for the weekend with her stove still on. I know.
Typical. She's so scatterbrained.
Make sure all that stuff is off. My wife does
Glad
this
you
thing.
Didn't say... Sorry.
What? Go ahead.
I was going to say, glad you just didn't say except booty was fire.
Oh, boy. Number 8. Most surprising fake spoilers in BFA. Winners of the Island Expedition get to celebrate with unlimited margaritas.
Ooh.
I know.
I don't know. I don't play very well when I've got unlimited margaritas.
Yeah, but you've already won, so you're all right.
Oh, right. Okay.
So
but then they don't remember doing it, so they try to do it again. It's troublesome.
Right. Number 7. N'Zoth is not actually an old god. He is just a misunderstood, oversized cuttlefish. And
I love cuttlefish.
Cuttlefish sound cute, but they're really ugly.
I think that's subjective, Pat.
It is subjective. You're right. All right. Number 6, most surprising fake spoilers of BFA. Thrall returns to blast Deathwing out of the sky. Oh, wait, hold on a sec. That's just a placeholder cinematic. Every time it was just Thrall blasting Deathwing out of the sky. I was messing around today getting... It was weird. All right, number 5. At the end of the Old Deer raid, credits start rolling. Game over, guys. Game over.
Oh no! Don't say that, please. Yep. That's like a personal fear of mine.
The new raid. That's it. The credits start rolling, and it just, you get your name on at the end.
Come on.
3 letters. That's it.
That's not funny. You said these were funny.
I said they were the most surprising.
Oh.
And I also said that they were fake. Okay, number 4, most surprising fake spoilers at BFA. Illyria, Verisa, and Sylvanas Windrunner start a new sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. They're just gonna... What?
Did they wear pants?
I'm sure that they must wear some sort of pantaloon.
Yeah, you're right.
We should enchant those.
They probably already are. All right. Number 3. Magni Bronzebeard gets kidnapped by goblins because he poops diamonds.
Whoa.
Who wouldn't
want
that?
How do you do that?
Well,
I would be rich.
He is a diamond.
That implies that he eats coal, right?
Well, he is a diamond. Right? He's a gem of a man.
You are what you eat.
Did you say gemical?
Yes. I said he's
Is that a word?
I said he's a gem of a man.
Oh, I heard gemical. And I was like, and I was...
Sure.
I believed you. I believed you because, I trust you.
All right. Number 2. When Sourfang confronts Anduin, he confesses to having a sweet nougat center. So he's not He's not all that sour after all. He's sweet. He's sweet and sour.
That's delicious.
Or sour.
Creamy nougat.
Or sour and sweet. Not really sure. All right. And the number 1 most surprising fake spoiler in BFA? Jaina, still pissed. There you go. Oh, the top 10.
And hotter than ever. Sorry.
Sure. Actually, there have been a lot of, we've seen some cinematics, we've seen the new character model for Jaina, and now we get to see all this new stuff. Oh, wait, hold on a sec. I'm going to just go into the news, and we'll talk about this some more. Here we go. It's time for the news! Like I was talking about, Battle for Azeroth Beta, still going strong, second weekend, and we are seeing a lot more. We're seeing a lot of raid testing for Uldir. Which looks pretty cool. We're actually starting to see the Fat Boss guides come out. All of the pre-expansion videos are starting to arrive on your doorstep or in your feed. And they look pretty cool.
They really do. I don't like the spoilers, but I had to check out those Fat Boss guides, and it just it looks so good already. I'm really excited to try that.
It really does. And I know that they're doing more this weekend as well. And so we're gonna start seeing all that stuff. And actually, I think, is it this weekend where the entire Uldir raid is available as normal, I think? It's just all gonna be normal mode. I'm not sure if it's individual bosses or if it's the entire raid.
I'm not sure.
It could be that.
That sounds
either way,
normal,
it's
though.
cool.
Yeah,
I don't
totally.
know, Pat. I'm saving myself, so
you're saving yourself for when it goes live.
Yep, very unspoilerific.
Yeah, I hear that
this time around.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. You can do that. I know that I was messing around a little bit today. I was doing the Battle for Lordaeron.
How'd that go?
And that I think it went well. I survived it, and Thrall came and blew Deathwing out of the sky twice. So there's going to be a couple of cinematics. No idea what's in them, but I seem to have survived it. So that was good.
That's probably the objective, right?
Sure.
Living.
Sure.
It's like a daily objective, though. IRL ending game.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of one of those things where where I mean it's like the pre-expansion scenarios and stuff like that we're so very used to at this point, where you go in with 10, 20 people, whatever it is, and you go and you do a little scenario and you have some fun and you see a lot of story and then you go and you just jump into the rest of the expansion, which is fine by me. I'm good with that.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
Worst ways to go.
That is correct. Also, the BFA pre-expansion patch. So not the expansion stuff, not the stuff on beta, but the stuff that's coming before BFA. All of that stuff is going to be hitting the PTR soon.
TM.
Yeah.
Yes.
So be looking for that one as well. And I think that is all of the Teldrassil stuff, right? Is that it? I mean, we've seen pictures about Teldrassil, and now if you go onto Wowhead now, everything will be spoiled for you.
Yeah, don't go there.
Nah.
I mean, go there, but be careful.
Sure.
Watch yourself.
It's kind of like I was on the internet earlier this week, and remember how I said I didn't see Infinity War yet?
Yeah.
I saw a major spoiler for that, and I just wanted to burn my eyes out with bleach and part of my brain probably because
these next 3.5 months are a great time to go outside.
Sure, it is.
Where's that?
Go outside. Put the computer away.
No, don't put it away. I mean, let's
put it away. Turn off your internet. Save some money from.
Turn off your internet. What are you talking about?
The internet. That's where all my friends are.
Just play.
How about visit them in real life?
How about just play some Overwatch or some Hearthstone or something like that?
You know what? Honestly, I found that other Blizzard games are more subject to WoW spoilers than WoW are. So
really,
it'll be like you'll be like playing and like switch to Brigitte, and he'll be like, "Get out Brigitte right now, or I'm going to spoil BFA for you." And you're like, "No!" And then he's like, "Throw shoots Deathwing out of the sky."
Wow!
Oh no!
Wow! I have never heard that at all.
And then you pick Torbjorn and start jumping off the ledge. So
right, right, all right. Sounds.
I'm nervous.
Sounds just weird. Saying.
Sounds.
Nothing
weird.
Is safe except for the cool mountain breeze of the Rockies.
You know, it'd be really cool though.
What?
If like in BFA, you could like if you were a paladin, you could get like transmog that looked like Brigitte Goetta.
Oh,
you know, with like the shield and everything. Wouldn't that be cool if there was like some Overwatch transmog that you could get in WoW? Oh my god!
I'm sure that there will be.
That would screw with my immersion so bad.
That's got to be a thing. Or like,
I want that to be a thing.
Or like make it so that you could look like Hanzo for a hunter. Or
hand soap. Yes.
Yep, hand soap. You know, I actually for Brigitte, somebody was calling her Baguette.
Yep, Baguette,
That's
hand soap.
Yep.
Window marker, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All the memes. A little bit.
Nationalist.
Right.
Sorry.
Right. So on top of man, this conversation really took a turn. On top of all of that stuff, on the beta, now back on the beta, we also have War Mode and World PvP being available for testing. And Thyst, you seem very excited.
I am. Can we dive right into this, please?
Sure. Let's go ahead. What do we know about War Mode, which is basically just turning PvP on, right? Just flagging yourself?
Sure. We know 5 things, Pat.
Okay, what do we know?
Let's go. Honor talents will always be enabled when War Mode is on.
Okay.
Not just enabled when you get into PvP situations.
Right.
So honor talents will also help against normal PvE creatures as a bonus. So, you know, when you've got like your honor talents, like I've got one, I forgot what it's called right now. Too excited. But I get like flames go around me. Because I'm a fire mage. And so I know when like a person is hitting me rather than a mob out in the world, because I'll flame up, you know, I'll be like, oh, hot flash, you know, what's going on? I'm on fire.
You'll get hot flashes?
Exactly.
Wow.
I think that's what the spell is called. Hot
It's called Hot Flash.
Hot Flash. Anyway,
awesome.
So that's awesome. So with gear scaling, so the WoW team wants to limit the extremes in power between players based upon like gear and eye level. So, like if I walked into a situation where there's world PvP and I'm like eye level 1 billion and someone else is less than 1 billion, like I'm gonna cream that person, like they're not gonna stand a chance. And that's no fun.
Right.
For the other person. And you're in world PvP, so like more often than not, it's gonna be random. So you're not expecting this, and you kind of want everyone to have sort of a fair fight. So you will still be more powerful if you're a higher eye level, but within reason. So it'll be a similar experience to Unrated Battlegrounds and Legion without the stat templates, and scaling only counts in PvP combat, not with PvE mods.
And we'll have to see exactly how they tune that, because, that's what everybody's going to kind of have to keep an eye on. They say they want that. We heard Ian talk about that, and it's like, yeah, okay, great. You want it.
They've said that every expansion for the last 6 years.
Yeah, well, they made it this time.
Well, and hopefully they can pull it off.
And I think they've done it every time. Like, honestly, I think that they've done that. Honestly, I want to go back to the Cataclysm days where I was better than you, and I had better gear than you, and I played more than you, and I wrecked you. That's what I want. I'm sorry. I don't like hearing what anybody else says. Like,
I just want one-shot robot. Let's go. Boom.
And that's totally fun, but it's not super feasible with like the way that world PvP is going to be,
Right. They are changing it around quite a bit. So, it's one of those things. They want to bring world PvP back, and the only way the only way you're going to be able to do that is if you make it, reasonably tough.
Mostly fair.
Yeah.
I think
reasonably tough, mostly fair.
I think it's especially because world PvP is toggled now. I think it makes more sense than ever to allow gear to play a bigger role in world PvP.
Yep.
If I'm being honest, like I know some people are like, no, I don't want to like get wrecked every time, and then I kind of just want to say play more. And this comes from somebody who spends 30 hours a week watching Overwatch League, so I don't get to play as much as a lot of my friends do either.
And they did say gear, if you have better gear, you should have the advantage. And so that's definitely a thing that will be a thing. But
I'm fine with it for battlegrounds and stuff, but I don't know. I'm just like, it's a lot of. One of my favorite parts of playing video games is just creaming somebody.
Of course.
Like, if I'm being honest, I love it. And yeah, I want there to be skill involved most of the time. Sure. 10% of the time. I just want to be out in Hellfire Peninsula as an 85 Shadow Priest, put Shadow Word paint on them once, and let them die instantly and not be able to quest.
Absolutely. And I think you'll still get that, in PvP situations, but I think my opinion on this is like
one, right?
Because but like it's world PvP. Like this is only the beginning of something that they're trying to slowly build upon. And I think if it seems like it's too daunting or too unfair, nobody's gonna want to keep war mode on. And PvP is already daunting and scary for people, and that's why they wanted the option to opt out of it. So sure. I think like having this be mostly fair is probably good for now. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. But I totally agree with you. Like it's one thing when you're trying to get all this gear and you're bringing up your eye level specifically because you want to like go ahead and one-shot people and feel really good about it. And nothing feels better than that. Like one-shotting somebody or like overcoming an enemy out in the world who's an actual person in like a random situation. Like that feels so good,
Right.
But like this is something new, and I think they're just easing us all into it.
Yes.
If that was the only way, though, if that was the only way to get PvP gear, I would totally agree with you. But it's not, and honestly, war mode won't even be the primary way for people. And I'm just worried that it's going to go the way of expansions past, where then just nobody turns it on, nobody goes and does it. They want the way that Thyst said earlier about, hey, you're going to get some bonuses for being in that PvP mode, but they've already said that they want it to be relatively similar as if you were in PvE mode anyway. So like, they're not saying we want you to have an advantage for wanting to take on the other faction. They're saying we don't want you to be disadvantaged for wanting to take on the other faction. And for that aspect of it, I would just say, you know what? sometimes those imbalances, letting there be an avenue for those imbalances makes the game more fun. And if somebody isn't like geared for that, I get it. And I know that there's going to be a lot of people who hate what I just said. But you know, that's just the way I feel. And that's, you know, coming from somebody who's played ultra casually at points and played at the highest levels at some points. So I think that there's just definitely, there can be a balance that's struck, and making it so that no matter what level you are, you don't outgear the content. No matter what, how much PvP gear you have, you don't really outgear the players meaningfully. Like, there comes a point where that's just like not that fun. I think it needs to be done tastefully. It needs to be done right, but I'm not sure that this is totally there yet.
Sure, right, and I know that there are some people in chat that are like, well, you know, doesn't necessarily like. For me, I don't care. I'm not going to turn it on. Only because if I'm out in the world, I mean, sometimes I might, but most likely I'm not going to, because guess what? I don't want to be slowed down. I want to go through my quests. I want to clear my quest log. And if you guys want to fight, go right ahead. And if you want to go one shot people, you won't be able to. So
I want to one shot you, Pat, please. Ooh, let's duel.
No, I don't.
IRL.
Duel. I don't. Oh,
I'm gonna fight you.
Oh, IRL. Yeah, I totally will.
Meet me outside the convention. Let's go.
That's right.
Anyway, so for conquest points, you can earn them by rated arenas and RBGs, and light conquest points from unrated BGs. And we're getting a new way to earn them by doing world PvP activities. And something included in that is this. I love this so much, you guys. It's called bounty hunting. So you earn conquest and world PvP by killing as many alliances, the other faction, as possible. And the more you kill, the higher chance they will put a bounty on your head. And when a bounty is put on you, it will be announced to all opposing players in the zone, and you will appear on the map for a reward. You're literally like a world boss. Is that not amazing?
Sure.
Come on, that's cool.
No, well, I mean, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, no, it's kind of interesting gameplay for sure, and I kind of dig it on certain levels. It's kind of like playing GTA and getting the cops coming after you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah,
it's fun. I mean, I would love to experience that. I would love to, I want to be on both sides of it. I'm good at PvP, but I don't think that I'm as good as, being able to take on everybody in a whole zone or anything like that. But like, wouldn't it be fun to like have a bounty on your head and then get announced and then like bring all of your like raid team or your guildmates and just like, have a good old
ambush people as they come in.
Like a rumble. Yeah.
As somebody with a lot of expendable income in World of Warcraft, this is going to be like a lot of, because like, for like 1,000 gold, 5,000 gold, whatever, like I wouldn't even bother. It wouldn't even be fun for me. I'll just kill whoever I want. But, imagine putting up the occasional 150K. Here's a free month of WoW. Go kill somebody.
That'd be great.
And cool. I'll roll my horde tune, wait for Pat to be, strolling through Zandalar and just be like, go kill Zug. Here's a free month of WoW.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I want that. Turn your PvP on, Zug. It's going to be fun.
That doesn't sound fun to me.
Sure it does.
You killing me does not sound fun to me. Because that's what would happen. Seriously.
I don't really want to kill you though.
I'll go into BGs and stuff like that. Oh, by the way, there's a new thing with BGs, right? Too, as well. That's going to be coming in. I don't know. Is that in now or is that coming in a future patch somewhere? Because
I don't know.
The change. Well, the change is that there's going to be a difference between the smaller BGs, the 10-person BGs versus
the fun ones,
versus the 20 to 40 man,
the not fun
BGs.
ones. Yeah,
they're all fun. Yeah, but that's why Ashran is temporarily removed. That's why Strand of the Ancients is gone.
Right.
I'm upset about that. I liked Strand.
So, and I like actually
the
those
rosiest colored glasses.
I like those bigger BGs myself as well. Only because I remember the 2-hour bridge fights and and all this kind of stuff. And so I mean, it's just kind of like you now you can pick those smaller ones though if you would rather play those, or you could pick the larger ones. And there's no blacking out any of the BGs.
Right.
Now.
No blacklisting. Right.
So
yeah, I mean that's cool. I like that. I love all of these PvP changes. I think that it's a very ambitious, and I love the way everything's getting shaken up. And I don't know. I appreciate the fact that they said something like they are going slowly with all of these changes because they want to build a foundation first, and then sort of like build up on that. Because like PvP has just been the same for so long, and it really sounds like. I don't know. They're just like spreading it out onto more avenues. And I really think that like, since Strand was removed, just the way that WoW's been going lately, like, I don't think it's the last we've seen of it. I think that it might get recycled into something different. I hope, maybe Ashran will come back, hopefully. But yeah,
for me, it was just kind of like Strand, ended up being too fast and too big. Right. So
it was 15 v 15, so it was kind of in the middle.
Right.
Plus, apparently nobody really liked it.
Well, it was a big area, and they really at first it seemed like the pacing of it was probably a little too slow. So then they boosted a bunch of stuff, and then it was like, oh, if we get behind, then I really have to run after the siege engines because they are just trucking along so fast that you can't really catch up to them or anything like that. So I think it just kind of.
Just a lot going on in Strand, honestly. Like there's just so much going on there. And I personally, like I said, I love PvP in WoW. In the downtimes, I spend my time doing that, not raiding or dungeoning or whatever, unless I just need to get my cooldowns done. And every expansion we get this kind of recommitment to PvP. And every time I believe them, and I still believe them.
Honestly, I think this time it can work better than it has ever before. I mean, I think
I agree.
I think they did a pretty good job in Legion with kind of redefining what PvP means in a lot of ways. I mean, because you have your PvP talents or whatever, and so I mean, you can kind of have a little bit different experience in Legion, and now. Coming into BFA, now you can turn on and off world PvP in your little rest areas. And I don't know. I mean, it's kind of, that part's cool. Plus all of the different little things that they're throwing in here. It seems like they're really trying to tailor it for those guys that really like PvP. Now let's just hope that everything is balanced enough.
I mean, I get what they're doing. The issue that I've had, and I've said this since Mist of Pandaria, is that you can go back and look at WoW PvP, and there's times where it was complete chaos. And once you ground through enough battlegrounds or arenas or whatever to get gear, you were on top of that chaos. And man, it was just fun because you only played people with the best gear. Or you just totally dominated people, which was really kind of neat. And then you had the other side where it's like everything's equal, everything's the same, and that was really fun too. What I don't like right now is they've kind of like they keep trying to find this middle ground between chaos and balance, and it just kind of like alienates both groups of people who enjoy it. I know I'm not representative of every PvP player by any means. Like I said, I think that teabagging is fine in esports and, all that kind of stuff. And people will yell at me for that. And I'm like, you know what? Get over it. But so I know I'm not representative of that. But I think that there is something to be said for letting the game mode kind of be what it is rather than trying to like force it into what like they think balance looks like. And for me, I think it's been pretty clear that balance is not this weird thing between, hey, you're better than them, but not really. But yeah, you are. But not totally because of, X, Y, and Z. And I would just rather them commit to like, you know what, we're totally balanced, or you know what, go for it. If you play way more PvP than the other person, you're going to be better than the other person. And if you want to be better than that person who plays more PvP than you, you need to play more PvP.
Well, and that is kind of what it is, because I mean, the more you play PvP, the better you are at it. So you would have greater skill anyway. So shouldn't be a problem, right?
Hopefully,
shouldn't be a problem. Okay. Getting away from that for a little bit, I want to talk, because we had a couple of different developer interviews and Q&As and stuff like that, because we had the Q&A with Ian Hazakostas, and then that was with Lore as well. Just all the questions coming in and stuff like that. Yeah. And also, John Haidt was interviewed on PCGamesN.com. So, and I'm sure that there's lots of stuff to get through, but things that I found the Ian Q&A thing a little bit more interesting, only because it seemed a little bit more relevant to player questions. And the other one was kind of stuff that we've already heard as World of Warcraft players. We've already heard a lot of this stuff coming in for Battle for Azeroth. So I think the Ian stuff was cool. GCD changes is a big thing, still remains a big thing.
Definitely.
And like I said before, this is still beta. So I think that the big takeaway from that was they're doing this as it makes sense for the class and for the spec. Mm-hmm. So either, putting stuff off of the GCD that you might need, that's kind of fun, like disengage for hunters, disengage and shoot. That's kind of like a cool thing that hunters have always been able to do. We'll keep that, but then some of the other things might go on the GCD just to make sure that you're thinking about your gameplay as can be expected. So, I don't know.
It's good. It's a scary thought a little bit, but, this kind of thing happens before every single expansion. Like something like this comes along and it seems like it's going to be huge. And for the first couple of weeks it is, and then it's fine. And if it isn't, Blizz fixes it. So I don't know. It's all good. Relax.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
Relax. Just relax.
It's fine. Yeah, it's all right. Just trust Lady Blizz.
Relax.
She's got this.
Yeah.
Ooh, whoa. What did you just do? Do that again.
I went down. Just
do
relax.
Whoa,
relax.
I didn't know you could do...
Mm-hmm. I could do that. Never mind. Anyway.
I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, sure.
Can you do the whole rest of the show in that voice?
No.
What?
I don't think so.
Oh my god. Can you just say my name? No, say John's name.
No. And that's where so the Q&A was also where I heard the thing about the larger versus the smaller battlegrounds, and things about, personal loot just being loot now. This is the way we're doing loot.
Just loot.
This is the way we're doing loot, guys.
Yes. It is the default for all modes now, because you deserve loot for killing bosses.
Right.
Put that on my tombstone.
And I think we've talked about that before on previous shows, where if you kill a boss, you wanna grab his boots, or you want to grab his belt, or whatever,
or etc.
Helm, fancy
his pants,
ring.
Perhaps.
I don't know about that.
Come on, everybody always needs a good pant upgrade.
Sure, there is that. So that's just a thing that's happening. We learned a little bit more about Azerite armor, and we've kind of seen how this works now on beta as well. And I think we'll see more once we get like into live, because they're still kind of messing with it, right? I still don't really have a firm grasp on that concept yet. I haven't tried to, but it's intriguing. I'm excited. Yeah. No, it should be good. I mean, it's not like your weapon now, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
Because there's only like a few things that you can get out of it. But I think it's kind of a cool way to give you bonuses and stuff. So
it's like a combination between a like 2-tier set piece and an artifact. You've got choices, right? You've got 3 different tiers of choices. We don't see all the different choices that you can make, but I believe like the first tier has like 4 choices, the second one has 3, the third one has 2.
Yeah. So
but you can have up to 3 pieces per character and 3 traits per piece. So it's like 9 traits in total.
Yep.
So I mean it's cool. I like it. I think it's cool. The issue I've always had with systems like this is that World of Warcraft is not nearly good enough at letting you manage your armor as it is. So managing gems and enchants and set pieces and different sets for different bosses, I just wish that there was a way to more easily kind of navigate those things, because it's kind of like, hey, do you want to micromanage these things and do better DPS, but spend so much time doing it? Or do you want to just be able to sit back and enjoy the game and kind of...
And that's kind of the reason that they're going to this, I think, is because they are drifting away from set pieces. There aren't going to be set pieces for BFA as far as I know. And at least not in the beginning. That's for sure. And so now you'll be able to use this Azerite armor as a way to kind of skip over all of that stuff, the different set pieces. So now you just have plate, mail, leather, cloth fall off of a boss, and you pick it up and you use it, and you put on your Azerite traits and so on, and you're done. You don't have to think about, okay, I've got a 2 set, I've got a 4 set, but then I've got a 2 set of the next raid. So now, which is better? Do I do the 4 set of the old raid, or do I do a 2 and 2 and try to play it that way? And blah, blah, blah.
And you know when the best time to figure that out is? When you're in the middle of a raid and everybody's already moved on to the next thing, and you're just like,
right,
I don't know, I've got like 3 pants here, I don't get it.
Right.
But that all depends on what these traits are, because you still might run into the same issue.
Sure.
Just masked differently.
Yeah.
So rather than, do I wear these 2 sets, or okay, this piece now puts me over my haste cap, so now I want these traits instead of these traits. I think that I don't want to overcomplicate it, because I think that there's a good chance that what you're saying is true, but at the same time, I don't want to like immediately dismiss it, because there's no way that they would let that happen again. I've said since Kata, like, that's just kind of how these things end up working out. So
right.
I don't know, we'll have to see, because it seems tough to be able to have traits that are exciting and enticing and feel like they're improving your character without having the stats that you're improving also find a way to augment your spells in a way that you might want to change them.
And we'll see. We'll see exactly how that all plays out as we approach August 14th. It's coming. It's coming sooner than you may think. So there's that.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about some other stuff, because we are going to talk a little bit about esports, because Mythic Dungeon Invitational is kind of big with Raiders. I don't know if you know that, Thyst. I'm not sure if you know that Raiders have a tendency to actually like the MDI, and I know lots of people who don't like actually doing Mythic Dungeons, but they like watching the MDI.
Yeah, you know why? Because it's entertaining, Pat. The entertainment value is high. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you know what's the best is when you see somebody playing your favorite class in spec, and it's you're learning all of these like avenues and different spells, and they've added the inspect feature right on Twitch, so you can see what everybody is wearing and what they're doing, and it's just a really cool way to like learn from somebody who is probably a lot better than you, just because of like all the effort they're putting in, of course. But it's like watching the Olympics. It's like a hockey player watching Olympic level hockey, you know? And it's just like, these guys are the best.
Sure. And now we actually have, we've seen all of the different areas of the world compete against each other. We have 2 teams from each of these places, it was China and like the Asia servers, and then it was
APAC, China, EU, and NA.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so, who's gonna win, Thyst?
I don't know. Would you like to hear the top 8 teams going to the global finals?
Oh boy, sure. Let's do that.
Okay, so I'm going to start with number 1. So Skyline D from China is number 1 right now, followed closely by Method NA from NA. Right. Coming up, 3rd is Free Marcy from APAC. They won last year.
Yep.
And it was nice that May 5th, so that was last Saturday, was the first day of the NAs. And they actually had to finish that up and then also finish up the APACs so that they could get a final sort of a roster on that, because their internet just wouldn't handle the awesomeness of the NDI.
Because Australian internet sucks.
Australia, yes. Yeah, but Free Marcy did manage to come out on top again. So number 4 is Cal's Angels from EU. Number 5 is Team PogChamp from EU. 6 is Gulch Trotters from APAC. 7 is Team Omega Sniped in the Americas. And 8 is Sun Sky from China.
Okay. All right.
So cool. They will be going to the global finals. That's on Friday at 9 a.m. June 22nd, PDT. I
was going to say this Friday? No, it's not
this Friday. It's June 22nd, which is a Friday.
It's
9 a.m. PDT.
Right. So that'll be cool.
So excited.
That'll be good.
It's going to be so great.
And we'll see what's going on there. And it's always fun to listen to Sloot and Trekkie and the guys.
Oh yeah, the casting was on point this year.
Really
They have been. The banter is amazing. Those guys are putting in like 15-hour days, like on camera. Like they switch off, of course, but like, oh my goodness, like they're just on all day and all night, and they go to sleep and then they wake up and they do it again. So they're so entertaining, and the casting on the MDI is so endearing because there's all these inside jokes and puns, and they all gel together really well, even with the 2 new additions this year. And it's a very inviting esport.
It is.
The best way to describe.
Nice. It's quite nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
I like it.
Nice.
I like it.
Me too.
It's kind of where Overwatch League is very very in your face and actiony and stuff like that.
It's big and flashy.
The MDI, while it does have its moments, it has its actiony moments for sure, and there's always action going on. They have a little bit more even-keeled approach on the broadcast. So not necessarily tons of up and downs, but it does get tense from time to time. So it's always kind of fun. All right. Let's move on to Overwatch. Let's do this one.
Oh, this is my jam.
There we go. So John, Rialto is the new map, correct?
It is.
Okay.
Yes.
And are you finding this map to be fun, or are you finding this map to be more like Blizzard World? Oh, I'm sorry.
I think Blizzard World's fun. Love Blizzard World.
Depends on whether you're attacking or defending.
That point B. Now that they changed point B, it's fine.
Right. So what do you think of Rialto? Because Rialto is basically the map that you fight for the PvE side of the Overwatch thing for, what was it called?
Retribution.
There we go. Yeah, that one. So what do you think about the new Rialto map for PvP?
I think it's good. I mean, we've got kind of a couple different versions of it. You have like the mini map that's good for like FFA, deathmatch, stuff like that. But then you have like the actual Rialto map, and that has been a lot of fun. It's not in competitive rotation yet, so you got to play quick play. I think there's an arcade mode for it.
I thought it was going to be in season 10, so I thought it was.
I heard that it's not going to be not available for competitive mode just yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
To keep the competitive conditions as fair as possible.
Don't trip me up when I'm on a roll path.
I'm sorry. Brigitta's coming in for season 10 for sure. Brigitta's now.
Brigitta's in. Yep, there's there's lots going on there. Rialto is not one of those things. Overwatch has been extra careful with introducing new heroes and new maps into the competitive pool. Because honestly, community feedback has been really harsh, and because of the amount of people who are playing in the PTR and giving valuable feedback in the PTR, we're actually kind of seeing this situation where they're not quite getting enough info by the time something goes live, and they need a bigger hero pool for it. And so that's why you're kind of seeing this more gradual introduction than we've seen in the past. So overall, though, I think Rialto is great. I would say, as far as balance goes, it's probably one of the best new maps that's come in. But as far as flavor goes, probably one of the less inspiring, just in my personal opinion, which is kind of funny because, like, I think Blizzard World is flavor-wise probably the coolest map, in my opinion, that they've ever created. Sure. I could spend all day in Blizzard World, but when it comes to like balance, it probably has the most problems out of any of the new maps that they've come out with yet.
Right. Which is what I was talking about. But I do think that it's kind of a cool map, especially because it does open up some possibilities for like Bastion is kind of big in this one. And Torbjorn, of course, all the turrets, and defending it is not easy. So
it's not.
We've got there are a whole bunch of twists and turns and little places to get kind of caught up. So it's been fun. Yeah. It's been fun playing it. Thyst, what are your thoughts here?
I love it. It's absolutely gorgeous. It is so beautiful. I'm glad that it's an escort map because, when I'm sitting on the payload by myself, I can, stare at the scenery and it's very beautiful. It's nice to see it go by.
It's nice and
apparently, it's so relaxing. According to Michael Chu, the lead writer for Overwatch, that waiter, the Omnic waiter, his name's Waitron. So I had to stick that in. You can ride them gondolas if you're real careful not to fall into the water because you will die instantly.
Oh yeah.
And if you destroy the champagne bottles, they pop when you shoot them, which is really cute. But that's, all the stuff that I've noticed so far. But I don't know. I can't wait to be so well versed in this. I think that it's going to be one of my favorite maps personally, not just because it's beautiful, but because it's great for a diva main. There's lots of different avenues to go to get away from things, but also to pop out in places. And I actually had a really good match on Rialto today, and I had an amazing Mercy. So I was just able to just sort of, weave in and out of the main sort of road and figure out all these spots. But I don't know, isn't it kind of disarming when a new map is introduced and you have to get used to it? And you end up finding out the hard way, usually, where a room is and where one isn't.
Because you died? Because somebody came up behind you and just and pummeled you?
Exactly.
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Actually, there are quite a few points where you can enter in at least a few different ways. And so it's kind of tricky, which is nice. You can surprise people.
Yeah.
Surprise! Boom. You're dead. Perfect. And actually, this next piece just came in today, I think. I think it was today. The new Charity Mercy skin.
Yes, Pink Mercy.
Pink Mercy skin for breast cancer awareness, right? Or is it? And it's also for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation.
Yes.
You can pick it up for $15. You can also gift it, which is cool. So you can give it as a gift or whatever. And I was actually, one of my buddies was also talking about how the Breast Cancer Research Foundation is actually top marks for being able to put money into research and also being very transparent and all that kind of stuff. Very high rated foundation. So it's all good. on that aspect. And I've noticed that we're seeing a lot of charity streams as well, and like all of the different Discords for the Overwatch League guys have new pink logos, or at least the ones that I'm in.
Yeah.
So very cool.
Yeah, there's also a limited edition Pink Mercy charity shirt that you can get.
Ordered it.
Oh, good. It's really pretty. There's a unique collection of Pink Mercy sprays and player icons that you can get via Twitch drops. So there's going to be a bunch of Overwatch community streamers streaming, and there's tier rewards. So the tier 1 is all you have to do is log into the game during the promotional period. So this goes through May 21st, right? So you just log in, you get this really great icon. Tier 2, you watch 2 cumulative hours of participating charity streams. Tier 3, you get another icon and a really adorable spray if you watch 4 hours of participating charity streams. And the Tier 4 reward is 2 new sprays, and they're adorable. And all you have to do is watch 6 hours of participating charity streams. So, like, Blizz is really going all out with this. Like, all of 100% of the purchase price from the Pink Mercy skin goes to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. And they've also guaranteed a minimum donation of something. I'm not sure how much, but
these are all like the amount of streams. They basically got them every day from May 8th through May 21st for a minimum of like 4 hours. But a lot of them are like 7, 8, and 9 hours. So honestly, if like you're at work and you've got a second monitor to watch streams on and stuff, you'll get it in a day or two. So it's not like 6 hours, there's only 9 hours of streams, so pretty easy to get.
There's a lot. This actually reminds me of why I like Overwatch and Overwatch League in particular, because they are doing this like the NFL does for the month of October, because the NFL does the pink gear, the pink shoes, the pink towels and stuff like that for all the players. So the NFL does that. And this just goes to show me how pro Overwatch League, Overwatch and Overwatch League are trying to be. So
and that's Blizzard too, eh?
Yeah. And good on them for that as well. So
and the skin is really cute, you guys.
It is cute.
Like, it makes Black Cat Diva look like a pile of barf, and that's like coming from a Diva main.
I don't know about that, but
no, it's cute, Pat.
It is cute.
It's cute.
It is cute.
Not as cute as you cosplaying a soldier, of course, though.
Yeah, I did that this weekend.
I know. Thank you. That was the best birthday present of life.
Because we had a little meetup. We had a little mini Minnesota meetup for the Stage 3 finals for Overwatch League. And I dressed up as, I did a casual cosplay as Soldier 76 because yeah. I kind of
why not?
Because I kind of look like him anyway, so might as well just go into it. Lean into it.
And you can do the voice, apparently, that we found out today.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right. Yeah. Get off my lawn. No, I don't think that's it. I think that delivery was a little off. Let's talk a little. Let's talk a little Overwatch League, as long as we have John here and you, Thyst, because you both are big fans, obviously. And
I'm sorry, Dallas Fuel fan over there.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a Mickey fan, okay? Bad. Mickey.
All right.
Mickey.
All right.
You have an XQC jersey, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I can't wear that anymore, though.
No, you can't.
It's a relic.
It's a rare
find.
In
a museum.
It's a rare find now. So anyway, for Overwatch League, Boston totally swept everybody up throughout the entire stage, and then got to the finals and lost. Oh, NYXL cleans up again and gets the big prize of stage 3. Now, Thyst, were you happy or sad? Because I know you're an NYXL fan, but you're also really keen on Boston this time around, right?
It is the biggest upset in OWL history, and it would have been such a fairy tale if they had followed through with it at the very end. But even though they didn't win, how impressive was that? It seemed like Boston really figured some stuff out this stage. They've cracked the code as far as like communication and teamwork goes, which is something that most teams are still struggling with, if not, even more things. And even all of this despite losing their star DPS player for reasons. But they had the perfect 10-0 record in this stage, and they're the first team to do that. And like, even though they didn't win, my God, did they put up a fight? And it's so great to see that. And it would have been really cool to see them take it. But at the same time, like, it's super encouraging because like they just sort of came out of nowhere. And I love that. I love that Overwatch League is becoming less predictable than it used to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what I said when Boston went 10-0, and then, they were in the finals, and I said, man, these guys are really prepped to tank in the finals. I was like, these guys are really primed to just lose it all. John, what were your thoughts on the Stage 3 finals overall?
I mean, I honestly, if you go and look at my Winston's Lab rankings, I got them all right within one map. The only thing I got wrong is I thought that the Gladiators were going to do a little bit better against Boston. But here's the thing. NYXL is the best preparation team in the league, and they got to watch Boston play LA Gladiators and LA Valiant, I think, 3 times essentially in that previous week. NYXL was so prepared that, there's no way that Boston was going to win against NYXL again. In fact, when you look at when they played the first time in NYXL, it was an unprepared NYXL, not an outplaying Boston. And so I think that there's a lot kind of going on with Boston this stage. I want to give them a lot of credit. I'm actually sitting down with the Boston Uprising for Overwatch League Daily on Thursday morning. They're in Boston. They're actually going to call in. I'm going to sit down with a few of the guys and talk about their Stage 3 performances. But a lot of things had to go right for Boston this stage for them to perform the way they did. And it takes a really analytical look at what they've done in the past and what they did in Stage 3 to kind of understand that. Understanding that, in the end, the star was never Dreamcasper. It was Gamsu, and it was Striker and Nico. It was these guys who have played so well, but played such an enabling role that you can slide in somebody like Mistakes. You could probably grab any hit scan DPS player with some projectile expertise, throw them in there, and they will still continue to perform well. And so, I could say whether it's Dreamcasper, Mistakes, or some other DPS player, I think that the results are largely going to be the same because of those big 3 players. And
sure.
I think that was really interesting. I love the new format of having 4 teams. I don't love, so there's one thing, right? Because we saw 2 3-0s and a 3-1 in the playoffs, which is by far the most lopsided these playoffs have been so far in Overwatch League.
Right.
And a big part of that is that essentially the first place team from the stage gets to choose their first round opponent. So you're already setting yourself up for a lackluster first game, right?
Sure.
And so, there was, as far as excitement goes, it was by far the least exciting. My Stage 1 was still my favorite between NYXL, London, and Houston.
Right.
So, I think that there's still some more iteration to be done, but you also have a really spread out skill gap between a lot of the teams right now that even right now you're seeing squished together. But now imagine, between season 1 and season 2, where teams can kind of go, okay, we get the format now. Let's revisit.
Yep.
But overall, I mean,
here's a question for you as well, because one of the things that I noticed, and actually probably everybody noticed, was that there was basically, even though there was basically a 4-way tie for 3rd and 4th, because San Francisco came in and those guys were really close. Houston was really close, right? Were those the other 2?
So,
I think so.
If you look at like the standings for Stage 3,
yeah,
you had the LA Gladiators. I mean,
It was Gladiators, Valiant, San Francisco, and Houston, right? Those were the 4.
I mean, Philly.
Philly.
Between 8th place and 4th place, you had 1 win and 1 loss separating them from an overall score. But at the same time, you had 12 maps, and that's how Overwatch League does it. Is overall, when you're dealing with so many maps, so like it looked on paper, if you don't look at map score, it looks pretty close.
Oh yeah.
But in actuality, the Valiant and the Gladiators were pretty far ahead and pretty safe going into week 5 of Overwatch League.
I still wanted San Francisco to be in there though. For some reason, I was just like, oh man. Get those guys in there to shake it up a little bit, and they've got an incredible young roster. They've got a great coaching and support staff. They clearly understand the format of Overwatch League, which is why you see some teams like the Houston Outlaws go like this and then trend down, and you see other teams. I would say 2 teams that really get it and understand the format right now are Boston Uprising, San Francisco Shock, and LA Gladiators. Those 3 teams get it. They understand the format. They get what it's like to have the long term. They have great support staff and structure. Not just like, hey, you don't have to drive the van to the venue to Vic of the Florida Mayhem. We'll get a driver for you. But having esports psychologists and other people and other pieces of support on staff to help them out. And those 3 teams you see trend consistently upwards, even if they didn't win stage 1 or make it to the playoffs in stage 1. They're teams that understand the long haul of a 40-game season. Right.
Pat, would you say that you're a Baby Bay, or that Baby Bay is Bay?
Baby Bay is Bay.
Who's that?
Baby Bay. Baby Bay from San Francisco, from the Shock.
I don't even know what that is anymore.
That's why you like the Shock.
Absolutely. Just for Baby Bay. He's a Baby Bay by the Bay. Yes. All right. We do have to move on though, and we are running seriously late for this show because there's been so much to talk about. So I'm just gonna kind of skim over some of this other stuff, and we'll probably pick it up next time. Okay? I don't know if that makes sense or not.
That makes total sense.
First of all, let's go to Hearthstone just real quick.
Well met.
Thank you. Now, there was something written about balance changes, and everybody's like going, oh my gosh, there need to be some balance changes, especially because Witchwood is kind of has its issues, as does every expansion. And as it turns out, the balance changes are coming toward the end of the month after the HCT playoffs. So,
good.
So yeah, so if you're looking for balance changes for Hearthstone, they will be coming soonish.
TM.
That's all I got. No, it's going to be towards the end of the month, so it'll be fine. The other one that I wanted to talk about was Heroes of the Storm.
Turned up to 11.
Thank you. And it's just this. They are starting to do lore now for the Nexus.
Yes.
So they have a new comic book. They have a video with the developers talking about how they want to do story and about what the stories would probably revolve around. But they're going to start doing stories within the Nexus, which is actually kind of cool. And they do have a new comic up. It's called Rise of the Raven Lord. Rise of the Raven Lord. There we go. And it is now available. Also, Heroes of the Dorm this weekend. Heroes of the Dorm this weekend.
Nice.
And it's the Heroic Four, not Final Four. But there's one team from California, one team from New York, one team from Kentucky, and another from Quebec.
I think Quebec's gonna take it.
You would, Canadian. And there's also a teaser in Heroes of the Storm, and we'll have to figure out what that is, and so much more. Anything else as far as what we need to bring up for this week, guys?
If you would like to see a picture of Pat Crane dressed like a soldier, I retweeted it.
Yeah, just check out the Convert to Raid Twitter account.
Yeah, check it out. Retweet that. Save the photo, put it on your phone in case you need it in emergencies.
Some people seem to really like that. It was kind of
a
big
really
hit.
Do.
Oh yeah. And I had like a it was like an athletic type of jacket that was the 76 jacket, and then
Very
I had
athletic.
these red plastic sunglasses, and when you put them on, the world looks very, very different. So
you've got everybody in your sights. You have to like run up to a vantage point.
I guess. I mean, it was just it was very strange. Anyway, unless you guys have something, I think I'm gonna play this music. There we go. All right. And it's time to talk about what's going on with you guys and how people can find you and all that kind of stuff as we wrap up. Johnny, Overwatch League Daily, still knocking it out of the park. Just letting you know.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Overwatch League Daily is awesome. We're coming up on 100 episodes probably next week.
Wow.
So pretty cool.
Congratulations.
We started that at the very beginning of December. That's a lot of episodes in 5 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, check that out. Just go to overwatchleaguedaily.com. There's links to everything right there. You can find me everywhere at Kick Tripod, Twitter, Twitch, whatever.
Right on. That sounds good. And Thyst, how about you? What's coming up with you?
Hi, Pat.
Hi.
Oh, nothing. Just the regular lagging balls thing going on every week, talking about Blizzard stuff. The LBS on Fridays. We're gonna start some play-alongs on Mondays, probably.
Nice.
And yeah, if you love those dick and fart jokes, you know where to go.
Sure.
And catch all my stuff that I write on doubletap.com. It's awesome.
There we go. There we go. And make sure to hang out with me on Twitter at Pat Crane. Sure. Or any of the social medias. You can hang out there. And you can also join the Bazuba Guabo Nation. But I got to get out of this, and I got to play this. There we go. You can also join the Bazuba Guabo Nation by heading over to converttoraid.com. That's where we have all of the things for CTR, show downloads, Discord infos, videos, audios, and guild stuffs galore. Galore? Sure. And there is even the new section called the Convert to Raid Podcast Network, which features the shows that these guys are in, and as well as all the other regular players of this and Battlenet Sports. So make sure to go check out converttoraid.com. Convert to Raid is produced and distributed by Signals Media, and that is going to be it for the show. John, Thyst, thank you very much for the marathon show that it was. Twitch chat, it's always nice to see you guys being weird. And for you guys at home or at work or on the train or in a car, wherever you are, we love you. Thank you so much for picking us up. We love that you do. And we will see you next time. We hope you had a good time. And for all the guys on Convert to Raid, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Can you say Journey to Angoro, please?
Journey to Angoro. That one? Because you want me to sing it?
Yeah, but like make it hot though. Be like, baby, I'm gonna take you on a journey to Angoro.
I don't think that's gonna.
And then when you say Angoro, like point down, like south. Yeah. Journey to Angoro.
It's not even where Angoro is.
I meant anatomically.
Anatomically, Angoro is in the south.
Angoro is not an anatomic term.
It's a euphemism.
Wait. Oh.
Not how
Thanks.
euphemisms work.